so much harder than I thought. Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. We are going to be talking about our top 5 favorite movies of the year. Hey guys, editor Victoria here, and why does she lie to you guys? Why does she? She's definitely not going to do a top 5 movies of the year. She's going to do a top 10. I mean, look at that face. Look at that grin. That is a top 10 movies of 2024 grin, if I've ever seen one. This is going to be really hard, so obviously you guys know I have to cheat and do a couple of honorable mentions. I have such a hard time with body horror movies, but I've been going on this journey lately where I'm trying to watch a lot of them just to get over that ugh. But I thought it was phenomenal. There was camp. There was just a lot of commentary about just the beauty in the beauty industry, just the way we look at ourselves as people, but particularly in this movie, the way women are so hard on themselves regarding their bodies, and especially when it comes to something as aging, right? We should embrace aging, but I feel like the society tells us that it's ugly to age and you're over, your career is over no matter which field you work in whenever you're aging. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley's performances were really good. Smile 2 was so freaking good. I don't think I ever did a review over Smile 2, and I should have, because it is so freaking good. The marketing they do with these types of movies, this is the type of marketing that I said that Strangers Chapter 1 was missing, right? Get your people on board before they even come to see this movie that is a prequel or sequel, whatever it is, right? I thought the scares and the suspense were great. I thought the idea of this entity or this demon trying to take it to the next level and get someone that has so much trauma and it happened to be a pop star, right? Someone that has a further reach than someone who is a therapist. This movie really surprised me. I saw this movie with Deontay and it is phenomenal. It sparked so much creativity in me. It warmed my heart. It made me cry. I laughed. It's just so amazing. The voice acting is just very rich. It's just such a beautiful movie. It deserves so much love. If you want an original horror movie, please go and watch Oddity. Like I said, I was devastated that I couldn't go see it, so I ended up having to wait and rent it. But I'm happy that I waited. It was worth the watch. I don't know. It was just spooky and cold, and I just felt like you couldn't really predict what was going to happen, and I love something like that. Some of the dialogue was a little hushed, and I think it added itself to, is somebody always watching them? What's happening here? I love this movie so much, and I feel like there's a lot of time that A24 just doesn't miss, and this definitely just was not a miss. It's just a very, rich story for toxic relationships, and there's, some camp. There's just a lot of queerness, and I really love it. It's a love story that I wasn't expecting, and one that I didn't think I needed, and this is a movie that I can watch time and time again. I think it's impossible for him to make a bad movie. This one was really good. This movie really is more so about war photography and following journalism and the moral gray area there is with doing war photography. Should you feel bad if someone gets gunned down and your job is to take a picture of that? Should you feel bad if there's a child going hungry in the road but you need to make a paycheck and you get that picture? Some people look at it as, I'm just trying to do my job, or as others are I want to be famous, and others are I think this is important for the people back home to know about, right? And so I like that we got this commentary, this little movie about, is it morally sound to do war photography in those types of settings? What more do I even need to say about Challengers? There's just so much there. It's so effective. The homoerotic tones are really good. The camp, the experimental cinematography, the music. I felt like the music was a little loud for me at some points, but I did like the song choice in the soundtrack. Very good nonverbal storytelling. Zendaya killed it. Needs no introductions. I love this movie. So much so at Comic-Con, we met with David, and we got to sit in on a Shutter panel. Here's my mug. It was broken in the bag, but I do have my Night Owl mug with Jack. And I don't know. It was just such a great movie. It was very effective. I saw it by myself. When the credits were rolling, I felt very uncomfortable. I kept feeling like something was going to happen, and I just felt like I needed to get out of there. The set design was really great. Of course, I talked about the performance from David was phenomenal. So much better than I thought it was going to be. And obviously, it's this great tale of using Danny Lyons' work. I don't know. It's just something about being able to take still photography, which is done by Danny Lyons, and create this whole story around these characters that's really beautiful. I thought the way it was shot was great. They had some very shot for shot type of moments. Tom Hardy really stole the show, really, for this movie. This was Tom Hardy's year. This was this man's movie. Inside Out 2 brings in more emotions, particularly anxiety and that question of I'm not good enough, which sucks. And I feel like that resonated with me so much as someone who has anxiety. And I just felt like I teared up. The lady next to me was tearing up. And it just brought like a new level to the movie. We got to spend more time actually with Riley than just being in her head with the emotions. And I thought that that was like a nice risk for them to take. All right, before we get into our last movie, I mean, these are all in no particular order, by the way. But before we get into our very last movie that's considered, you know, number 10 or number 1 in my personal top 10 movies of the year, let's go over some honorable mentions. The crossover we have been waiting for forever. This movie was so freaking good. I had to heart it. I don't care how gimmicky it was. I don't care how silly people thought it was. This was the movie. This was it for me. This is exactly what Marvel needed to jumpstart getting back into some of the like better films that they can make. Dune 2 is going in the honorable mention section because I can't quite put it right at the top, but I also don't want to not talk about it. The idea that I had going in was that I wanted to read the book before I went and saw the second movie, but I have not. If you don't know, they're splitting Dune into 3 parts, so there's one more after this, but it was very much so longer than I thought it was going to be. I think it might have been maybe a little longer than the first, but it could also just be the pacing of the story, but I felt like it was still enjoyable, and I do feel like if Denis had cut anything out of the movie, it would have hurt it. So, but yeah, this is just a movie that speaks for itself, and I just encourage everybody to give it a try. I'm going to give Mean Girls 2024 an honorable mention as well. It was really fun just kind of seeing the musical. Like, it's the same thing with Wicked, right? Just seeing this musical being brought to life, and just, I don't know, you could tell they just had fun. Of course, when you have somebody like Renee Rapp, who is the embodiment of Regina George, has played her on Broadway. It's just like, you can't go wrong with this movie. I thought this movie was great. Obviously, this movie deserves its own like pedestal. This is probably the best horror movie that I've seen this year besides Oddity. It was so freaking good. I do think that the actors did very well portraying their characters, but David Johnson, this was his moment to shine. He did fantastic. This one snuck in because I completely forgot to leave room for it. I enjoyed it. I feel like there were spots in the movie where I felt like it, you know, it dipped down a little bit. And I will say about Lily Rose Depp, it's really hard to be a young actor amongst very seasoned actors, but I thought that she did okay trying to hang in there. Like, she did fine. I just thought the style of the movie was really nice too. Strange Darling came out in 2024, so I am gonna give Strange Darling an honorable mention of 3.5 stars too. So those are the ones I really want to just kind of throw in the honorable mention, like mixed bag, as well as Heretic. I'll give that an honorable mention too. Of course, we were coming here. Wicked is one of the best, if not the best movie that I've seen this year. The sound mixing for the first experience when Deontay and I went to go see it is very like, part of the reason it's a 4.5 out of 5, but when I went again to go see it with Steven, I would move it up to a 5. It has everything. It has the drama, it has the romance, it has the songs, it has the choreography. Like, I don't know what's been stuck in your head, but I'm pretty sure it's Dancing Through Life. It's just, there's just so many good songs from that first act of Wicked, and one of the things that's so great about this movie is the social impact it's had on musical theater as a whole. I like that more people are being exposed to musical theater. This is not something I want to gatekeep. Please come in so we can talk to more people about it. It's just being a theater kid and seeing something like this come to life is just so beautiful. I cried the second time. The first time I like welled up. It's just so good, and I think people give Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo a lot of crap, but I think their performances is just one that's gonna live on to be something, a part of musical history for a long time. I've gone overboard with this one. I'm gonna have to cut all this stuff down, and hopefully I will change the title. But yes, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a like rating down below, and of course feel free to hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos like this. And why not drop a comment while you're here? Let me know what was your favorite movie this year. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!